I added a few more animations and movements on top of my basic framework. Things like ledge grabbing, falling, some details to turning and stopping, and things like punching. You might also notice the camera is now automatically following the player. But it's not just following the player. There's a layer in between. There's an object, an empty object that is following the player, and the camera is following that object. I'm just trying to make things as smooth as possible. And in case with ledge grabbing, it's broken down into several different moves like hanging, climbing and crouching, and then getting up. For crouching, I don't have any moves yet that are following this animation, but right now you're just getting up without really doing anything. I'm planning to have more different variations, but I'll have that later on. And of course, you can sequence everything into a single sequence. I also like to have a lot of details. For example, when you stop, before the update, I used to have a linear interpolation between the running speed to a stop. So it felt like you're sliding on ice. Now I added a little more detail. Like the moment you put down your foot, that's when you really see the decrease in momentum. You do slide a little bit after you're planting down your foot, but then it's a bigger decrease in terms of speed. Same thing with turning. Once you plant down your foot, you're able to have more friction and then turn. And while you're in the walk-in animation, the moment you are in the air, you fall into this falling animation. The game is detecting whether your foot is on the ground. So the moment you're off the ground, you fall into the fall animation, and then you land. And in case with landing, there's also a bit of detail there. When you fall, you crouch a little bit to brace for the momentum, and then you get up, and then you're able to, do whatever you want to do. And then there's punching. The player's not getting hit yet, but the enemy will get hit if you punch him. I haven't done much coding on the attacking side. I was going to do the attacking as well as particle effects, but then I decided to focus on movement first. And I want to experiment walking around or going through some of these obstacles. I'll make more later on. And I basically want this thing to be as smooth as possible and as responsive as possible. And you also want to have a bit of weight when you control the character. You don't want it to feel like a virtual animation that is just moving around. And that's pretty much it. For the next video, I'm thinking about having more movements like running jumps, or I might have different sequences while you're climbing, or you could also have crouched walks, sliding, different variations that you can play around with. Because right now, once you fall into certain animations like stopping, there's nothing you can do while you're stopping. I plan to have more animations that allow you to cancel other animations, and you can sort of be freer in terms of your movement. There's certain things, just like basic physics, that you just can't get rid of, but you should have as much freedom as possible. So things like turning, stopping, you should have certain things that allow you to cancel those things. Maybe uppercuts or whatever. I have to think about it. And that's it. So thanks for watching. I hope you have a great Thursday, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye-bye.